Hello everyone and welcome to Wednesday's guided reading. I've chosen a story today that I think you'll really enjoy. I'm sure that I've seen lots of you reading Winnie the Witch stories at school before, and this one is Winnie at the Seaside. You're going to read it after me. See if you can use lots of expression, and I hope you enjoy this story. It was a very hot summer. Winnie the Witch felt hot and tired. Wilbur, her cat, felt hot and tired too. I want to swim, Wilbur, Winnie said. Let's go to the seaside. Winnie found her beach towel, her beach bag, and her beach umbrella. She jumped onto her broomstick. Wilbur jumped onto her shoulder, and they were off. They flew over hot towns, hot roads, hot cars, and then they came to the sea. There were lots of people on the beach, but Winnie found a place for her towel. She put up her beach umbrella and got ready for her swim. Look after my bag and my broomstick, Wilbur, Winnie said. She ran into the water. Have a good look at this page. Let's see. I'm going to share the screen with you for a moment. And on our reading rainbow, we're going to use our noticing eyes. What could the characters see in this picture? Start your answer with the character sees. Stop sharing so that you can see the picture again properly. Have a good look and then think of your answer. The character sees. Wow, some good answers. You really used your noticing eyes. The character sees stripy umbrellas. The character sees lots of people. The character sees the soft sand. The character sees a grumpy cat. The character sees tall buildings. Super answers. Let's carry on our story. It was lovely in the sea. Winnie splashed through the water and skipped over the little waves. She was having a lovely time. Wilbur sat and watched her. He couldn't swim. He didn't like water. He hated getting wet. Winnie dived into the water. It was such fun. But the water started to creep up the sand, up to Winnie's towel. Wilbur jumped onto Winnie's beach umbrella. Meow, he cried. Then the sea picked Winnie up, turned her over 3 times, and dumped her on the sand. The water washed over Winnie's towel and came halfway up Winnie's beach bag. Meow, cried Wilbur. He didn't want to get wet. Ooh, turn 2 pages. Oh dear, said Winnie. She shook some seaweed out of her hair. Don't worry, Wilbur. We'll just move further up the beach. She picked up her beach bag and her towel. My broomstick, cried Winnie. Where's my broomstick? She looked everywhere. No broomstick. Then she looked out to sea. There was her broomstick, floating away. Stop, Winnie shouted. But her broomstick didn't stop. How will we get home, Wilbur? Cried Winnie. Then she had an idea. She grabbed her beach bag, took out her magic wand, waved it 5 times, and shouted, Abracadabra. The broomstick stopped. Then it started to come back, but a surfer was in the way. Whoosh went the broomstick, high up in the air, and it landed on a whale. The whale didn't want a broomstick on its back. Whoosh went the broomstick, high up in the air, in a great spout of water. I don't think that Winnie's day at the seaside is going quite how she thought it would go, is it? And I think that there are a few problems going on. Let's go into our solving problems part of our reading rainbow. What do you think the problem is in this story about Winnie the Witch? The problem in the story is, pause the video and tell me your answer. The problem in this story is Winnie's lost her broomstick. It's out at sea. She's struggling to get it back. The problem is Wilbur doesn't like the seaside and he's not happy. He doesn't like the water. The problem is Winnie and Wilbur can't get home without their broomstick. Well, let's see what happens next. Will it be solved? Splash! Winnie's broomstick had come back. Winnie was pleased. The other people on the beach were not pleased at all. They were very wet. Wilbur was not pleased either. He was very wet, very sandy, and rather squashed. Oh dear, Winnie said. We'd better go home, Wilbur. She packed everything up. Then Winnie and Wilbur zoomed up into the sky. They were soon home again. It was still hot in Winnie's garden. Winnie still felt hot and tired. Then she had a wonderful idea. Abracadabra! She took her magic wand out of her beach bag, shut her eyes, turned around 3 times. There in her garden was a beautiful swimming pool. Winnie dived in. She swam up and down, and then she floated on her back. "This is lovely, Wilbur," she said. "It's much nicer than the seaside." "Anything is nicer than the seaside," thought Wilbur. Our last bit, we're going to think about the action in the story and have a think about which part of the story had lots of action. It was action-packed, packed with lots of things happening. An action-packed part of the story was, have a think and tell me your answer, starting with that beginning. An action-packed part of the story was, yes, I think an action-packed part of the story was at the beach when Winnie was trying to get back her broomstick. And first of all, it had an incident with a surfer. Then it had an incident with a whale. And then everyone on the beach got wet and they weren't very happy. And poor Wilbur got squashed. That was a really action-packed part of the story. I hope you enjoyed our Winnie the Witch story today, and I'll see you tomorrow for some more guided reading.